Welcome to the live stream. It is Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. Tonight, we're going to talk about 50 kitchen design mistakes. Yes, you heard me right. 50 kitchen design mistakes, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to react to an article I found on the internet from loveproperty.com. And we are going to look at this article together and react to all the different design mistakes that they are suggesting in their article. And I didn't look at this this article beforehand. This is the first time I will be looking at the article, the blog, or whatever it is, with you here live. So the only one I looked at, it was the first one, and then I stopped scrolling because I wanted it to be more of a natural experience where I haven't seen all of the things on the list. So I have no idea what's on the list of 50 design mistakes except for the first one. And after that, it's going to be all just, we're going to check them out together and see what we agree with, what we don't agree with. If you are watching live, please enter some comments in the chat stream so that we can interact with each other, and I will try to get through to as many people as possible. Enter your comments, your questions, say hello, tell me where you're watching from, and we can join in the fun. So, and if you have any design mistakes of your own, please put them in the chat as well, and we can talk about those as we go through the live stream. Hoping you're having a great night. If you're watching the replay of this video, whenever you're watching it, there will be some chapters in the description that you can click through so that you don't have to go through all of this stuff here that me rambling on at the beginning of a live stream. And you can just get to the point. So I'm going to show you this website. It's called loveproperty.com. And I just came across this just doing some Google searching and trying to come up with, some ideas for videos and for live streams. And that's what plagues me nowadays, is just coming up with fresh ideas. So I thought this would be interesting just to look at this for the first time together, all 12 of us right now. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to jump right in. And I see some people are saying hello already, so I want to say hi before I do dive in. And again, if you're watching the replay, just click ahead in the chapters below and leave comments, say hi, and let me know where you're watching from if you're watching the replay. But Sanjeev is here, and I'd like to mention, and I will mention this later as well too, that he sent me some pictures of a kitchen that he designed. And Sanjeev, I take it from just our conversation that you're in the kitchen design business. And really, really beautiful picture that he sent me of a client that he had done a kitchen for. So it's great to have other people in the industry on the live stream as well, or watching the videos and interacting with it. It's a really cool experience. I see Rose is on. Hi, Rose. Nice to have you on. Sunshine 77789. Cool that you can make the live stream. Patty's here from Twin Cities. Awesome. Kara's here. Hey, Kara. Lori Taylor's here. Row Warrior from Saskatoon. Nice. How cold is it in Saskatoon? Barbara's here. Hi, Barbara. Good evening from Rochester. Cool. Hi from Guelph. Awesome. My aunt lived there for a little while. And from Victoria, Australia, Margaret. Cool. Really awesome to have you on here. Hi, everyone. So cool that you can join me and just say hi. So I really do appreciate it. And let's jump in. So this is the website, loveproperty.com. And let me just bring it up here real quick. This is the page. I came across this article and I thought this would be fun just to go through these items of all the different kitchen design mistakes. And there's 50 of them, which I thought was pretty extensive. The probability that I'll get through all 50 of these in this live stream, who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see how they go, and we'll go from there. So this was the article that I was looking at. And I'm going to read these for the first time along with you. And if you, hopefully you can see these, but I'll read them out loud. This first one just says, don't fall into these common kitchen blunders. So this really speaks to me. I like this kind of stuff because it gives me a lot of ideas for videos and whatnot. So I think it's kind of cool. So as we go along here, we get to the first one. This is number one. It says, the kitchen is the most complicated and expensive room in the house to design. So paying for a bit of expert advice at the start of a project can take the stress out of the process and save you money in the long run. Even if you already have a good idea of what you want, a professional kitchen designer like myself can help you fine-tune your scheme and help you avoid costly mistakes. Yeah, that's a kitchen design mistake, I guess, that you can make, is not to go to someone who's a professional. most people, I would say, probably go to someone to have their kitchen designed. I know, very few people. Well, I guess you can in this age that we live in now, especially with IKEA's online kitchen planner. Many people can go in and design their kitchen, but I do think it is a mistake not to enlist the advice of someone who's been in the industry and who can guide you down that process. So that I think I agree with that one. It's a good one, and I would say definitely get some advice if you're in the process or planning on doing a kitchen renovation. Go to somebody who can help you with that. Even someone who just came out of a renovation or has done one themselves. I mean, even someone like that is good, so that they can tell you, hey, I made this mistake, or I went here and this person was really great to deal with, or I got this, I wasn't super happy with it. All of that information is good information. So don't ask don't not asking an expert. Number one mistake. Let's go to the next one. All right, let's see. How do we get back to what I was doing? All right. So don't ask, not asking the expert. All right. The next one, I haven't seen any of these from here on in. Blowing the budget. Kitchens are expensive and the cost can rack up very quickly, so it's important to get a realistic budget and stick to it. Yes, a good rule of thumb is to spend no more than 10% of the value of your home on a kitchen renovation. It is also wise to leave 10% of that budget for a contingency fund and to allow for any unexpected expenses. Getting a selection of quotes from recommended tradespeople will put you in a strong bargaining position to ensure you get the best price. Yeah, well, I definitely agree. You should get a budget, stick to a budget, figure out what that budget is going to be, and not having a budget going into a kitchen design process can lead you down a road where you realize, oh, I didn't plan for that at all, or oh, I didn't realize that could happen. So I definitely agree. That's a great mistake to avoid, is not having a budget planned out. And yes, make sure that there's a contingency in there. I have videos on this same topic, that there's things that happen, and we've talked about it on the live stream before as well. There's things that happen that you didn't realize could happen or were going to happen. And if you don't plan for them, things can get a little more expensive than you would have wished they did. So make sure you get yourself a good budget and stick to it the best that you can, realizing that has to be a little bit of wiggle room in that as well. Here's the next one. Blocking thoroughfares. Okay, so now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of actually designing a kitchen. And so this is kind of what I wanted to see. Blocking thoroughfares. So thoroughfares are just walkthroughs, passageways between through the kitchen from one room to another. And it's important when you're designing a kitchen that you don't block these. So when you design your ideal kitchen, it's important to consider the overall plan of your property too. Some kitchens are thoroughfares to another room in the house, so access needs to be top of priority. And if you're dealing with a narrow galley space, ensure that the cabinetry doesn't impede passage through the room. Streamlined units and sliding pocket doors that recess, or barn doors, into the wall rather than swinging out are a great way to make a tight space more maneuverable. Definitely agree. If your kitchen is a passageway from one room to another, then that has to be designed in such a way to consider that for the people using that kitchen. So you don't want to be in your kitchen and someone's kind of coming by you, especially if you have the oven open, or you're taking something, or you got the fridge door open or the dishwasher doors down. There's all sorts of ways that can go wrong, and considering that or blocking thoroughfares is not a good idea. There's all kinds of different distances that can work. 42 inches is good, 48 is better, and on and on and on. You don't want it to be too wide so that you can't actually access anything in your kitchen. So something to think about, but making sure that you're not blocking the kitchen if it's a main hallway. I know some more people are coming on, so Bluebell's here. Sorry I'm late, no problem. We're all here on time when we arrive. Hi, Mark from Venice, Florida. Hello, nice to have you on. Thanks, Terry Jo Scott. And Rose from East Tennessee. It was 65 today. Wow, that's warm compared to where I'm at right now. Susan Dingwall, hi, and God bless. Thank you, Susan, for being on. I really appreciate it. Awesome. So if you're joining me now, if you're just coming on live, we're going through 50 design mistakes. And I haven't seen any of these yet. We're just going through these together, reading them, talking about them, and getting my opinion on this basic article. And do I agree or disagree with these kitchen design mistakes? And we'll see. So far, so good. I like them so far. Here's the next one. It is, if I can get this back on the screen. Oh, I gotta go to the right thing here. Bear with me. All right, trying to fit too much in when you are planning your kitchen or your dream kitchen. That's important. It can be tempting to try to squeeze in every last luxury, but before you splash out on a statement island unit or an American style fridge freezer, plan your traffic flow. What's an American style fridge freezer? Anyway, plan your traffic flow to make sure you'll definitely be left with enough room to maneuver. For example, when placing units and appliances opposite one another, allow 4 feet of space in between to permit doors to open and people to pass by. Don't stuff 10 pounds of potatoes in a 5-pound bag. Basically, you only have so much real estate and wall space and a footprint of a kitchen, and there's only so much that can go in there. And as much as you want to get as bit of everything that you want in that kitchen, sometimes you have to let go of some things. That's important to have a plan and list out, here are the very top priorities that I need in my kitchen. And this is stuff that has to be. This is the stuff that be nice. And maybe another list of, okay, if by chance we could fit this, but just grouping everything in together and expecting that can all fit in the space might not be the best way to approach it, depending on the size of your kitchen, depending on your needs and wants, depending on a lot of factors. But don't try to fit too much in and overwhelm the space with just all kinds of stuff. It's got to be functional, and you have to be able to have the stuff that you want, because you're probably going to be spending a lot of money. Darlene says, do the research. We always go see their work and workmanship. In theory, their plans can be great, but it's the finished work in reality as well. Yeah, that's a good plan. What's this about Disney World? Last week we were in Disney World. Well, what? I missed the live. You missed the live streams that you go to Disney World? Oh, come on. What? I'll give you a pass. I wish I could have been in Disney World too. We had a great week last week with Jackie. And congratulations to her daughter today, getting married. But hopefully we can have other guests on in the future. I have somebody else that I'm planning on having on. She's a professional chef, and that would be really, really cool to get a chef's perspective in kitchen design. So stay tuned for that as we progress in the weeks to come. All right, here's the next one. Okay, interesting. Let me find if I can get it on the screen here. All right. Not considering all angles. What are they talking about? If you are going open plan or designing a new kitchen for an open plan space, it pays to consider the whole room. Yes, it does. Think about color schemes. For instance, will your cabinetry clash with the feature wall elsewhere in the room? Also consider how your new kitchen will look while seated on the sofa. It would look splendid. Well, will there be any undersides of the cabinetry to show? I like this point. They did a good job on this article. We're gonna talk about that. And do you want to see kitchen paraphernalia on display on the open shelving? I like the way this is written. Another consideration for open plan spaces is noise from appliances. Really good. So opt for a quieter design with a quiet mark certification. I'll have to find out what exactly that is. However, the point about seeing the undersides of your cabinets is a really good tip that they brought up in this article. And because sometimes the bottom of cabinets are not finished, and in the world of custom cabinets, normally it's an upcharge. Where if you go with IKEA, the box is all white, so it doesn't matter. It's going to be white underneath. So if you're going with a white cabinet, it's going to be white underneath. But if you're going with blue cabinets or beige or purple or whatever color, the bottom of those cabinets is going to be white. Or if you're going with a custom and they're plywood or they're a wood grain melamine product, the underside will be that color unless you have it veneered and finished. So something to think about if that's going to bother you. Most people, when you're sitting down, you're lower than the bottom of the wall cabinet, and you can see that. Even if you have a molding, like a light valance, light rail molding that comes down 1, 2, 3 inches, you can still see the underside. So that's something to consider. I think that's really good, thinking about the way you look at your kitchen from all angles. And not a lot of people consider that. I don't think, personally, at least. And you know, I know it with my design service, at least, and anybody who's designing kitchens. Sanjiv can probably do this as well if he's doing this on a computer program like 2020 or Pro Kitchen. You can get views from everywhere, any which way you can, and that's pretty beneficial. But not something that you really think of all the time. That's a really good point. I like it. All right, let's go on to the next one. Hope everyone's tracking along okay. Give me a thumbs up if we're doing fine, and just say hello. I see Nancy on saying hi. Happy Wednesday. Hi, Nancy. Thanks for coming on. And let me know any mistakes that you've come across, or just say whatever you want. Ask a question. Say hi. It's all good. Let's go to the next one, and we'll see what the next one is. Okay, the next one's good. Neglecting corner cupboards. Oh no. Without proper planning, your corner cupboards can easily be reduced to a dumping ground of unusable dead space. Yes, they can be. That's why you should just get rid of them. While they may be tricky to work with, there's an array of smart storage solutions out there so you can utilize even the most inaccessible nooks. A tiered pull-out unit is a great way to ensure pans and plates within easy reach. Alternatively, specially designed drawers can fit into the corner units, and it could serve your needs best. Well, your needs will be best served if you get rid of the corner cabinets altogether. But yes, neglecting corner cabinets. If you have corner cabinets, it's a must that they be accessible. So I definitely agree. If you're designing a kitchen, and listen, I if there's a corner cabinet, that's fine. I'm good with corner cabinets as long as they're accessible, and not having accessible functional things that you can put in there is definitely a design mistake that you will pay for. And I get lots, of comments of people asking me, about corner cabinets, especially when they hear that I don't prefer them. I don't like having them. Like, how could you do that? And it's just one approach that I take when I'm designing a kitchen. But if it's not accessible, if it's not usable, they're right in this article saying that it can be a dumping ground, and that it's just unusable dead space if it's not properly considered. So not neglecting corner cabinets per se, but neglecting how they're going to be used is definitely a design mistake. And yes, Rose, wow, my head explodes. All right, let's go to the next one. That was a good one. I'm really liking this article so far. If you're joining me live now, we're going through 50 design mistakes that I've never seen before from this article on loveproperty.com. And so far, they're putting together a really good article. The great thing about some of these articles too, I'll show you this. This particular one has lots of great pictures, and I love looking at these because it gives you fresh ideas, new ideas. Sometimes you consider different things, different looks, and this is a great way to do it, especially for me in the design sphere and what I do. Sometimes getting a fresh approach and a fresh look is really good. All right, let's go to the next one. Overlooking door clearances. While it's tempting, I'm going to read down here. While it's tempting, Alan's on. Cool. We'll talk to you in a second, Al. And hi to Martha. There goes my camera. Oh. I'll get your question 1 second there, Martha. That's a good one. While it's tempting to prioritize the appearance of your new kitchen, don't forget to account for the existing elements in your space, particularly important in smaller rooms. Door clearances. The amount of space required for a hinge door's swing can have a big impact on your design of the kitchen. Otherwise, you could end up with units that can't be accessed properly, or a door that only opens halfway. If you're short on space, consider a sliding door that won't require clearance. Or you can get those pocket doors that open up and they open and slide in. Very good. This is very good. Knowing door clearances is important. This also plays into appliances and how appliances open in relation to one another. It really does matter with corner cabinets, actually, in particular, especially with like 90-degree corner cabinets, which way that door opens, especially if there's an appliance next to it. It should never open into the appliance because it won't be able to open all the way. And so there's a lot of these little things to consider. I know that Nick Lewis did a video not that long ago and talking about some of the things in the kitchen. And this was one of the things, drawers opening that interfere with other drawers. And so it's important to understand that these things exist. And I guess that's why they're first point of, hey, get someone who's a professional in the industry to look this over and give you advice is good, because these are easy things to run into. So overlooking door clearances is really important. Let's go to Martha's question. Hi, thanks for coming on, Martha. What do you suggest on cabinets that end on a vaulted ceiling? Okay, so I guess it depends on the way the vault is coming, but I think the best way to do that, you can't just go up with the cabinets. I'd say, you run them across, you finish them with crown or some kind of detailed molding. You could maybe, stack a few, but it can kind of look a little bit weird. So if they end on a vaulted ceiling that's going up, then, you just have to run them horizontal, whatever height, 90 inches or whatever the height is that you're running them, and then just finish them with crown. They'll look good. If you try to get too crazy with it, it might look kind of like you're just trying to look. It might look too much. So that's my best advice. It's hard to kind of describe a great answer for that. Sanjeev, if you're on, let me know what you think. What do you do if the vaulted ceiling, and the cabinet ends finish there? That's a really good question. What size handles do you use on cabinets? Do you follow the 1-3 rule? I use 96 millimeter center to center handles as much as I can. 3-inch maybe if it works, or 120 millimeters if that works. Anything over that, it starts to get a little bit too big, in my opinion. We talked about that last week. I'm just not a fan of the great big things, and I prefer a smaller handle, easy to replace in the long run, and I don't like super long handles, but yeah, I like 96 mil. Studio McGee says she will go as high as 10-foot ceilings for upper cabinets. It's not go higher if this thing's vaulted. Yeah, I will too go as high as 10 feet. That's high though. 10 feet's high. You'll never get in there. But if you're going for the look of that, then you can do that. But the problem with the vaulted ceiling, if you're going, like, if the cabinets are coming across the wall and the ceiling's going up, you can't stack the cabinets upwards, so it can look a little bit crazy sometimes. All right, let's go to the next one. And in inches, that is almost 3 3/4. It's just a little slightly off. That's why they do it in millimeters. It's funny, in Canada here, we don't do anything in millimeters except a few little things. It's like, why don't we just do everything in inches? I'm not sure. All right, overlooking. All right, here's the next thing. Integrate, ignoring integration. Consider how many appliances are likely to clutter up those lovely new worktops. Yes. And if they are unlikely to leave space for food preparation, consider integrating some of your gadgets into the kitchen or into your kitchen for swapping out the kettle for hot water tap. Okay. And to fitting your cabinetry with space to recess your microwave. It is best to consider integration before you finalize your design. And I guess their picture is they're integrating pot lids into the design of their kitchen. That's a neat little thing for pot lids. So yeah, you got to integrate some of those things. So yeah, the boiler tap, or like they said, the microwave. Someone had asked me if we could, house or insert their toaster oven, which they get really hot, so you can't really do that. So some things need a place to store and get access to easily, while other things need a place that they can be inset into and take that space and give it back to the worktop. So this is a good one. In ignoring integration. In other words, you just have to go through your design and figure out where everything needs to go. My video coming up, I did a kitchen interview with Tara from Living on a Dime, and I redesigned her kitchen. We're doing a video about it on my channel. We did some on her channel, but I'm putting together a video showing what I did to design her kitchen. And one of the points that we bring up is to make sure we know where everything's going to go. And I think this point kind of speaks to that. Patty says she loves her Ninja grill, but it needs a home. Yeah, all these things need a home, and that's important. And that's why in the planning stages, make sure that you are planning that out. All right, let's go to the next one. Ooh, I like this one. I like this article so far. I like the pictures are good. I like pictures. And so far, so good. They have great points. Oh, and they even tell you where you can get these things. That thing you can get at Walmart. There you go. And I'm not sponsored by anything on the screen at any point. It is all well and good bringing your beautiful dream kitchen to life, but it could soon turn into a nightmare if you can't easily access the essentials. Like if you have a corner cabinet that's just an abyss of blackness, uh, black hole. And the pan from pans to cutlery and plates as well. A well-planned scheme will ensure that your frequently used items are on hand whenever you need them. Pans can be notoriously frustrating to store. Yes, they are. However, pan lid rack and that fixes to the inside of the cabinet door can work wonders. Make sure they're in the prime position by the hob for ease. Okay, so this article is out of the UK, probably somewhere or similar area. Um, but a very good article nonetheless. And don't not prioritizing accessibility is a common design mistake that can easily happen when you don't, plan out your design. So I think this is a good one. And yes, you should, you got to think about those tins. You got to think about your cutting boards. You got to think about your muffin trays, and you got to think about your, we have these racks that unfold that when Amy makes cookies, she puts it on these racks, and they got to go somewhere. Like all these things need to go somewhere. And so not prioritizing the accessibility of all the things that you regularly go to is a mistake. All right, so far so good. Wow, beautiful pictures here. I'll bring these up. That's really nice. Ooh, here's one I really agree with, forgetting to measure appliances. Well, if you are going to go to a designer, I hope that they would, plan on knowing what the measurements are. You should never order a kitchen until you know the exact appliances that you're going with. But if you're doing this, and even sometimes professional designers, doesn't matter. We can all make mistakes and miss stuff. I've done it for sure, lots of times, unfortunately. But if you're doing this on your own, you're doing your own project, or you're kind of trying to plan this. Maybe you're using IKEA's system. It's important to know this one. So let's read it. It's easy to focus on the dimensions of worktops and cabinetry and simply assume that appliances you've chosen will slot perfectly into your new scheme. This can lead to protruding refrigerators and ovens that can disrupt the workflow of the kitchen, rendering that streamlined finish unsightly, as well as the standard dimensions. Don't forget to measure the clearance they'll need to open to ensure that they're not impeding access to drawers, colliding with other appliances. Really good point that they're making here. And that is not only the sizes of your appliances, but the clearances they need. And if you have inserted appliances, it gets even more tricky because the cutout size for that unit needs to be precise, meaning the unit, the cabinet itself needs to be a certain size. Normally, say in the case of an appliance that needs a trim kit, that trim kit is so big and that needs space. So there's a lot of little things to consider when dealing with appliances. Yes, I know in North America here, most dishwashers are 24-inch, and 9 times or more out of 10, that's what the client's going to have. And you can almost assume that that's what it's going to be. Very rarely would it be anything different than that. Though these days, I have clients asking for drawer dishwashers, and you can get these sink ones that they flip up. Like there's lots of variations, but most of the time, that's a pretty standard unit. But fridges are all over the place. Ranges are becoming more and more varied in sizes. Hoods are, all kinds of different sizes. Cooktops are the same way. Ovens, especially if you have a double oven, the height, the width, all of those things are really important. Forgetting to measure those is definitely a mistake. I totally agree. All right. Yeah, and we measured appliances 3 times, and the counter depth refrigerators are a dream. So there you go. It's just double checking. It's one of the things that when I was doing this, as far as hands on, I would be always just making sure I knew what the sizes were, because I'd made that mistake a lot of times in the past, and I did not want to go through another kitchen renovation with a client, and you slide in a fridge and you're like, it doesn't fit. How come it doesn't fit? Well, because somebody messed up. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, let's see. Oh, this is a pretty kitchen. Here, I'll show you that. Why not? Cool. If you're just jumping on, we're doing 50 kitchen design mistakes. And I'm looking at these for the first time along with you, and we're going through them together. So kind of a reaction to these as we go. And they're so far, they are really good. Sanjeev says, always better to get appliance model numbers before ordering cabinetry. Spot on. Exactly what you need to do is get the model numbers, and then you'll know for sure, especially for those inserted appliances. I would always get the model numbers, go online, find out the specs exactly, because you can measure the fridge height differently. You can measure to the hinge, you can measure the box. Like there's different things on a fridge you can measure to. The depth of the fridge as well. Are you measuring the box with the door handle? Like there's a lot of different things you need to consider. Thanks for that, Sanjeev. That's a good one. All right, adding extras at a later date. Okay, this is a mistake. If you're using a kitchen design company to design and install your kitchen, it pays to get a complete all-in-one quote and get the project completed at the first stage. Be decisive when it comes to design, as getting extra additions added on at a later date, such as tiling, shelving or shelving on an individual per job price may end up costing you more in the long run. Okay, very good. Make sure you get everything you want. You know, the problem is though, is once you get in the kitchen, even though you went through the design process, you start using your kitchen and you realize, you know, I wish I had this, or I wish this was different. And there's no dream kitchen that this doesn't happen. And there's no, you know, there's always that one little thing to be like, this could be just a little bit better. And that's not to say that you're not happy with your new kitchen, or, you know, that whatever, like, you know, just be happy with what you got. Yes, but there's always something that you look at, be like, oh, this could have been done a little bit better. And, you know, I mentioned in this next video that's coming out on Saturday, your old kitchen has all kinds of stuff in it. And all that stuff is probably coming with you to the new kitchen space. You know, most people aren't going out and buying just all new plates and all new bowls and all new glasses and all new cutlery and all new everything for their new kitchen. All their old stuff's coming. And so is that all going to fit in your new kitchen, and where's it going to fit? And what about that toaster oven that I see here come up in Rose says the size of a toaster oven, you know, or the steam convection oven, or the Ninja grill that's in the chat there. Is there a place for all this stuff? Adding those extras later to house those things, or the tiling and extra shelving can be something that can cause you problems. All right, so far so good. I don't know what number we're on. We're not even probably close to 15 yet, but we're going to keep going. What do you think about drawer lights? I'm going to try to get to comments as we go through these as well. What do you think about drawer lights? Put it in now or later. Drawer lights are one of those things. I don't know. I would say all that stuff just do right at the get-go. You know, if you're going to do it, just do it right away. If it's in the budget, if you're planning to do it. I don't do a lot of drawer lights. I know IKEA made them really popular, and other companies as well. But I'd say go for it. Just do it right off the hop. Of course, if you're in your kitchen now, you're not doing a full renovation, and you're doing stuff like that, it's great. You can add in those little extras that don't break the bank and aren't that difficult to install, if you're not worried about having them hardwired into your electrical system. If you can get battery operated LEDs. And I have lots of people telling me, you know, they give me suggestions for all kinds of different products out there. And, you know, I have to test them out. I don't know how great they are, but there's a lot of good ones out there. Did I just get myself in trouble? All right. Is your husband just against the drawer lights? Like, what do we need drawer lights for? Like, really? Do we need lights in our drawers? Yes, we do. So there you go. All right, let's go to the next one. I don't know what number we're on. When we finish the live stream and I upload this and then we put in the chapters, we'll know how many we got through, and we'll go from there. We're having fun, I hope. Give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying this live stream. Laying the wrong flooring. Yeah, that can be a problem. Like, there's the wrong flooring right there. I'm just joking. That looks great. Kitchens are busy, high traffic areas, so you need to select flooring that's tough and hard wearing with anti-slip finish. Yes. Thin and cheap materials won't last, especially when bearing the weight of heavy appliances for some years to come. Waterproof, resilient, and available in a range of stylish finishes. Modern vinyl is a great choice for a kitchen. Stands the test of time. All right. Yes. Make sure you have a very good flooring. There's lots of options out there, and I get questions about flooring all the time. I'm not a flooring specialist, so my advice on flooring would be, you know, uh, not bad because I'm in the industry for so long that I've been around the block, but I'm not an expert. So, we have hardwood in our whole upstairs. We just put it right in. We love it. It's great for us. But a lot of people would not want hardwood in their kitchen. Maybe would want ceramic tile, and some people hate ceramic tile because it is non-forgiving. It's cold. I've had in the past a nice thick vinyl, just roll out floor that worked really great, and yeah, it no problem. You can tear those if you're moving a refrigerator, so you got to be careful. But this is a mistake, laying the wrong floor. Make sure you do have something that one is durable. Yes, it's going to last the test of the test of time, the test of your dogs or your pets or your kids or whatever that's flying through the house. And I see TMB is saying we chose a luxury vinyl plank that has the wood floor appearance. These vinyl planks are great, and yes, I recommend the vinyl plank as well. Easy to lay, click down. They come up if you have a flood and your cabinets are on, the legs that are adjustable. You can remove that flooring and dry it out. That's a really great thing. They are very durable. Hi Claudia, thanks for coming on tonight. I seen you there earlier, but anti-slip, I'm prone to falling. Yeah, getting something that if it does get wet, or depending on how with maybe the shoes that you wear, if you're in your sock feet or whatever, getting something that's anti-slip or less prone to being slippery. So glossy tiles maybe wouldn't be the greatest choice. Our hardwood can get slippery depending on if something's spilt on it, like if an oil or even particular cleaners. So that's stuff that you got to look for. Hey, thumbs up. Having a great time with you, everyone. Mark, thanks. Thank you. This is really fun. I think this is a fun idea. Let's go to the next one, which is, I want to show you these pictures as we go, because I think these are really pretty. Really nice. All right. Where are we at here? If you're coming on live right now, or if you're just coming on, what are we doing? We're going through this article from loveproperty.com, where I'm going through for the first time, along with you, these 50 kitchen design mistakes, and we're chatting about them. Furniture, choosing furniture that doesn't fit. Yeah, that makes sense. As in any room in the house, you need to make sure that any freestanding furniture you order fits your kitchen properly, leaving enough space for the people to walk through comfortably around the room. Items like bar stools must be the right height for your countertop. You also need to make sure that you include sufficient leg room when designing a breakfast bar. The amount of space you need depends on the height of the stool. Yes, it does, because your knees, be at a different angle. And this also affects how much your knees jut out, right? So yeah, having furniture, the only real furniture that you would have in your kitchen is probably bar stools or some kind of stool, maybe a bench. In previous kitchens that we've had, our island was kind of our main kitchen table as well. So we had stools on the back and a bench section on the other side. Amy and I would sit on the bench section. The three kids would sit on the chair, or the stools on the other side. That was kind of our main hub. And so I would say making sure that you have the right ones that fit your kitchen are good, especially if you have an island. Do you want something that has backs on it or not? That's something else to think about, and the height of those things and what they look like. This particular kitchen that they have in their picture, this has backs on, and those are very nice, comfy looking stools. But do you want that? Depending on how high they are. So yeah, consider the height. Consider if your knees are going to be knocking into the back of the cabinets. Consider if you have knee brackets or posts or anything else. Stuff like that really matters. So yeah, definitely a mistake to not consider your furniture. All right, let's go to the next one. Not planning for a pantry. Well, you know what? I mean, if not everyone can have a walk-in pantry, so this might not be for everyone. However, let's read it. A popular fixture in kitchens of yesteryear, these storage solutions for dried and preserved foods are a great way to keep your long-term supplies organized. Don't have room for a walk-in space? A pull-out pantry can work just as well. Or if you have plenty of vacant overhead space, plan a tall pantry cupboard into your kitchen. It's always important that if you can put a pantry in your design, whether what they're saying is, yeah, you don't have an extra room, but if you have space for even 18 inches would be the least I'd try to go with a pantry unit. It's not too narrow that you can't put pullouts in it, that they're not too narrow to be useful. Anything less than that becomes more of a broom closet, in my opinion. And I like to have pullouts in pantries so that, because they are deep. And I like to make them deeper because a lot of the times I will put them next to a fridge. And I like to make my fridge cabinets, about 26 inches or 27 inches deep. And so having something that's too narrow, not too good, but if you can fit at least 18 inches in your new kitchen or your kitchen renovation, great. Not planning for a pantry, definitely a mistake. I agree. And in a kitchen where you can't do it, getting as much drawer space as possible, or maybe outside of the kitchen, there's a closet that can be, retrofitted into a more usable space. A lot of times closets are just surprisingly not very useful. I mean, they could be designed better so that they're a little more functional. And that's something maybe we can discuss at a later time. All right, well, we got lots of comments coming in. I'm going to try to look at some of these, but if I miss your comment or I don't say hi to you, my apologies. Trying to do as many as we can. I'm trying to get through these 50 kitchen designs mistakes, which who knows if I can do that. I don't think I'm going to. But you guys can chat with each other and make sure you leave a thumbs up on this video. And if you're watching the replay, there's lots of chapters in this video that we'll go through. But Alan's saying that pot fillers, I lost the discussion with his wife. So does that mean you're getting a pot filler or you're not? What was the decision? All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, another nice kitchen. Look at that. I love that backsplash. This is kind of what I want to do in my kitchen. I don't know if you see my video where I'm talking about my kitchen, what I love and don't love about my kitchen. I don't have backsplash yet, and I'm going to. And I've been thinking about this, and I, it's just so much money to do a really expensive stone, and I don't have stone countertops. I'm really kind of toying with the idea of putting in laminate, which I actually have said not to do, but anyway, on the backsplash. We'll see what happens. I love the look of that. Really cool. And I love these hoods that are up above there. All right, let's move on to the next tip. Don't do this. Forgetting a splashback or a backsplash, depending on where you live. Never underestimate the importance of a quality kitchen backsplash. Not only do they protect the walls and deflect mess from cookers and countertops, but the color, material, and finish can make or break your scheme. In this refined Wix kitchen, the marble effect design adds a luxury edge to a paired back space. And I agree. I think that looks fabulous, and this might be the route that I would go. Make sure you think about that. So I guess you could say that I made one of these kitchen mistakes, is that I didn't consider, I forgot the backsplash. So even Mark Tobin kitchen design makes mistakes. There's a nice room. All right, here's the next one. Not knocking through. I think they're talking about open concept here. All right. Before you start redesigning your compact galley kitchen, take a look at your property's layout. Perhaps your kitchen is flanked by a rarely used dining room or small living area. By knocking through or knocking that wall down, you could create a large social open plan space that would get much more use. Open some walls, as some walls may be structural. Be sure to seek out professional advice for your project. Yeah, I'm a fan of the open concept. I still think it looks marvelous. I mean, when you look at this particular picture, I think it looks awesome. So yeah, make sure if you're knocking down a wall that it's not holding up your roof. And a lot of homes, depending on how they're built, you have trusses. The trusses hold up the way of the roof. Maybe you have rafters and you need a beam to go through, or maybe you're supporting a floor from underneath. So yeah, you have to have a professional engineer look at it, but it can be done. We put a beam in our kitchen in our whole house because we took out all the walls in the little house that was there. We needed to put something in there. It's there by necessity, not because we wanted to look cool and have a beam. We had to have a beam because it's holding up the roof. And so we put pine over it and stained it dark. And you see that in a lot of my videos. But by opening up the plan, it's a much more open feel. It's really beautiful. So okay, let's go to the comments for a minute, and then we'll get back to these. I have no idea what number we're on, but we're going through these one at a time together. I haven't seen any of these except for that first one I looked at, and I thought, this would be fun just to do this on the live stream, looking at these together for the first time. Mark, they started assembling the cabinets and installing. Finally, that's great news. Congratulations, Alan. And Alan, did you get all your cabinets from IKEA? I'm still waiting for to do this Saturday. I was just talking to someone tonight, actually, a relative, and they were getting a kitchen, looking from IKEA, and IKEA only had, they didn't have like a third of what they needed. So they were like, wow, I can't believe that. I'm like, well, I can believe it because it happens to everybody. So I'm glad you got your kitchen and you're getting installed. Knocking walls is a nightmare. Great results, but be prepared for the unexpected. Suffered a lot with it. Yeah, that's the problem. If you're dealing with walls, there is unexpected stuff that can be inside of there, or things you didn't think about. So, yeah, be prepared. Have a professional look at it. Really good point. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, not knocking through. All right, okay. Judging by the picture, I'm guessing this one has to do with garbage. Let's see. Not making room for rubbish. Love it. I'm good at this. All right, don't forget to plan a place for your waste disposal. A built-in bin that recesses inside your cabinetry is a great way to keep unpleasant smells at bay, whilst taking up less floor space than a pedal bin. Opting for a segmented model will make your life much easier when it comes to separating out general waste from recycling too. These are very popular. However, in a family of 5 in this home and the dog, this little thing isn't going to go very far. So what we have is a separate cabinet that pulls out, that's just for recycles because it's part of our bylaws here. We have to recycle, and we have a pull-out garbage bin that's just for garbage. But I noticed something that's very popular, especially when I go on vacation. If I go to we go to Florida or other places in the United States in particular, and maybe other places in Canada. But this particular thing is not that prevalent here where I'm at, though some people have it, but not as many. Let me know where you live. Do you have like a garburator or a garbage disposal where it just goes down your sink? Some of that's very popular in a lot of places. And like I said, when I'd go on vacation to certain places and we'd stay wherever, there'd be, the garburator with the switch and not something we see a lot of in my neck of the woods, but that's another thing you can consider is putting in a disposal like that, especially if, you're septic or if you're on a sewer, it can handle that. And so let me know, do you have something like that in your kitchen? All right. You guys are having fun in the chat there, and I'll go back to those in a minute. So think about your garbage. Where is it going to go? Rose is saying it goes into my compost, my garden compost. And that's something else a lot of people have, and something that we do here as well is there's a separate compost bin. There's your regular garbage, and then there's your recyclable garbage. And so there's a lot of that stuff that has to be sifted through, and it all needs to go somewhere. And not having a place for that is definitely a mistake. So, all right, let's go to the next one. Let's see if I can guess what it is before it comes up. That'll be the new game we're playing here. All right. Any guesses? I don't know. Those are really interesting pots, though. I'm gonna think this has something to do with open shelves. We'll see. I don't know. Oh, missing out the cooker hood. Oh, okay, yeah. There's no vent hood there. Oh, they fooled me. There's some interesting stuff going on there. Missing out on the cooker hood, so not putting a ventilation. Ventilation is especially crucial in open plan living spaces as cooking smells can linger and permeate soft furnishings. Plus, excess moisture can lead to mold and damp. Yes, ensure you plan a cooker hood with an extractor fan into your design to avoid stale odors hanging around. Yes, this is a very good point. A ducted extractor will carry airborne particles outside, while a ductless design will recirculate the air through a carbon filter, which I don't like carbon filters because who changes it? Come on, be honest. Do you actually change that carbon filter in that OTR that you have? No, you don't. You've never changed it. It's just grimy, recirculating all that cruddy air. I know it's true. I used to change mine, wash them out. It's a good plan. If you do have an OTR, make sure you're taking out those filters and cleaning them. Or if you have a ventilation system that is recirculating, a regular vent hood fan, that you do that because yeah, that gets clogged and dirty. But if you can get it outside, that's the best route all the time. Get it outside as much as you can. All right, we're having fun. We are let's go back to Alan for a second because it's been weeks, Alan, months for you, weeks for us, waiting for this kitchen. We are waiting for 11 fronts. And I checked the other day, still not available. I'm glad we made the decision to abandon the I can't even say half of the IKEA names. So yeah, it's a good thing you did abandon them. You're still waiting for 11 fronts, and at least you can get the cabinets in without fronts. You can still put countertop on. You can still have a fully functional kitchen. Yeah, and Bluebell saying, yeah, it's going to look awesome. And I think it's going to as well. And Alan, you're going to send me pictures. I know you are, right? I think we said you were going to. But, yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. All right, what's this next one going to be? All right, this has a beam in it. A kitchen table. I don't know. Let's go. Neglecting your home's character. All right, well, I can see that. Yeah. If you have a real modern home and you're putting in this old-fashioned kitchen, I got a thumbs up from Alan. Cool. Maybe it won't fit. So it's important to take into account the age and style of your property before you settle on a kitchen design. Try to be sensitive to its character and opt for a look that will complement prominent architectural features rather than clash with them. A shaker style aesthetic is perfect fit for an older home with rustic beams, whereas a modern and minimalistic design will look striking in a contemporary space. Woot for the pictures. Awesome. Thank you. Well, I think that works. The pictures are nice. Yeah, like you have to design your kitchen to meet your home. It's a design mistake if you don't. And so if you have an ultra modern home, or if you have an older fashioned styling of a home and you put in gloss white, flat panel, no knobs, it might not look that good. However, it's your kitchen and do what you want. And if that's what you like, go for it. So I don't know. But yeah, stick with the look of your home. Probably though, my assumption would be that if you're planning on a modern kitchen, probably your home is likely more modern. So, but don't mix and match, or do mix and match. I'm not sure if I agree totally wholehearted with this one. I don't know. Hey, thanks for coming. You're late, but hey, we're all here. That's the main thing. Late to the party. I agree about trying to take the architecture into consideration. Yeah. Well, there you go. I agree to a point, as long as it's, as long as it. I just think that if you have a modern house, you're probably going to put in a modern kitchen. Or if you have like a more country style house, we're designing Tara's kitchen from Living on a Dime. It's a country setting. It's a cozy. She describes it, her house as cozy, and so she wanted that farmhouse look. And we kind of had a chuckle because, I grew up early years of my life, and then my grandparents owned a dairy farm, and we were on that farm. And believe me, like a farmhouse kitchen is not what's in the magazines. It's something totally different. Anyway, yeah, keep the style consistent throughout the whole house. That's good. Susan, hi Susan. Trying to picture a Japandi kitchen in a Victorian two-story. Well, maybe it could work. All right, let's keep going. Let's see here. Where are we going? Let's go to the next one. Okay. Yeah, neglecting your home's character. Okay, I am pretty certain this next one is going to be about islands. Yay, I got that one right. All right. A common feature in most culinary spaces, kitchen islands are a great way to increase your preparation area. However, if you're dealing with a snug space, squeezing an island in can make the room look pokey. It might be better to leave it out of your design altogether or opt for a compact space saving model with plenty of fitted storage like this handy unit. You don't want a pokey kitchen, is basically it. So if you can't fit an island, don't try to squeeze an island in there. If it doesn't make sense to have one, you have to make sure that you can get all around it and there's clearances and you don't make all the other mistakes that this article is talking about by putting in an island that's too big. However, a lot of people do desire an island, and I think it's important that if you can fit an island in a kitchen, that you should have one. It's valuable real estate in the middle of your floor that can be used for something good. And this probably is on wheels, this particular one. And as you can see, there's lots of storage. You get a little more extra counter space, so it's always good. Pokey kitchen. That's an accurate description. Yeah, I never described a kitchen before as being pokey, but I'm going to now. So my grandparents' actual farmhouse looked like a standard rancher. My grandparents' actual farmhouse was just spruce cabinets on the wall because you needed a place to put food, and there was no design element to it. It was just a kitchen. So the farmhouse look, I think it needs to be called something else. Matthew, hey Matthew, islands are obstacles. They are obstacles. Good ones sometimes, though. That's the thing. Just depends. They can be obstacles that get in your way and knock your hip off them. But if they serve the purpose, then it's great to have them. Hey Rob, thanks for joining me. We're all here. It's all good. No worries if you're late, but we'll chat later about it. You make sure you're on time next week. All right. All right. Squeezing in an island in a kitchen that can't fit just makes kitchen less functional. Yeah. Even if it was great before. That's the thing. So these are, obviously it depends on the space and whether or not it'll work. Oh, quartz. What's that in inches? I should know this, and I think it's 2 centimeters. Let me just find out. Hold on there, Alan. We're going to answer this live. This is what we're doing here tonight. We're doing everything live. I haven't seen any of these tips before, and of course, your comments or your questions, I don't know. Alan, oh, okay. So Sunshine's saying 100% 3 centimeters. I disagreed and said 2 centimeters, but that's because I don't know the conversion off the top of my head, and I should because I'm a professional. Let me see if I agree. Yep, 3 centimeters, which is 1.25 inches, I believe. So I like that look. The trendier look in the condo era is to have a 2 centimeter, which is a little bit thinner, obviously, than 3 centimeters. And Susan's saying that any stone top I recommend is the 3 centimeters, which is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 1.25 inches, and that's the thickness you want to go with, especially if you have an overhang. Susan, I'm assuming you're in the kitchen design or kitchen business of some kind. Give me a thumbs up if you are. Great to have people on here who know things, especially people who know more than I do. 2 centimeters is about 0.75. It's 0.787402. So you're close. I think, 3 centimeters look nice. Thinner on the back. If you're going with backsplash, though, if you're going with a piece on the back, then it should be thinner. You don't want to go with 1.25 inches on your back. Thicker costs more money, and that's all a good point. So 2 centimeters trending condoms because it's cheaper for the builders and less weight to go with. Okay, good point. Yeah, add a waterfall if you can. So that's a good point. It is cheaper to go thinner, obviously, so I think from all of this, 3 centimeters, Alan, that's what we're going with. And here's a fabricator who cut my granite, said always 3 centimeters for durability and appearance. And so did the backsplash tile artist. I'm not a kitchen professional, but now I play one on TV. Yes, you do. So do I. all of our experiences. All right. This is a professional right here. 3 centimeters popular in East Coast, 2 centimeters in the West Coast. fabricators use plywood under the stone. Very good point. Good. That's a good point. Yeah, so it's different in different parts of the world, different parts of the country. Oh, interesting. Same price for 2 or 3 inch. This is a really good topic for a future video. I think I may have to talk about that. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, what do we got here? Oh, am I on the screen? Here we go. All right, so yeah, insisting on an island. So it's a mistake not to have an island, or it's a mistake to have an island. It just depends. We figured that out. Okay, Alan's watering his money tree. What in the world could this tip be about? Maybe it's don't put this in your space. Okay, not setting up a temp. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, if your kitchen is planning to stay in your home while you are, if you're planning to stay in your home while your kitchen is being renovated, it is you'll need to have somewhere to prepare meals in the meantime, and you might get away with a fridge, kettle, and microwave for a few weeks. But if the work is going to take months, it could be worth investing in a camping stove and asking your builder to temporarily plumb in the dishwasher and washing machine in another room. And that is what you're talking about there. So, yeah, it is important that you think about how you're going to use the space in the interim of when it's being installed, when it's being tore out. I said in previous videos, I said probably on another live stream, that leave your sink to the very last so that everything arrives, everything's tore out, but you still have a sink in place if you can, and then tear that out. And reinstall so that you're only without that for a day instead of washing stuff in the tub or in your vanity. It's a good idea to consider this. So this is a good one. This is from IKEA apparently. This little rack here. It looks good. It's something while you're waiting. Alan, do you have one of these? You should have had one of these while you're waiting for your IKEA kitchens. It's from IKEA, which means you probably don't have one because they're out of stock and it's on a boat somewhere and you can't get it. Anyway, all right. Let's go to the next one. This has to do with it has to do with hardware. Guaranteed, this one's about hardware. Choosing impractical handles. I think we talked about this last week. On-trend kitchen fixtures like sleek knob handles, may look smart, but they're no use when you're trying to open a stiff fridge or dishwasher door with wet hands. Reserve stylish handles for standard cupboards like these, and install pull handles when you can't get your fingers behind anything that requires a bit more heft to open. Yeah, choose the right handles, I guess. And, that comes down to personal preference, what you like, what looks good in your space, and what you can get your hands on. I think last week we talked about this a little bit, and some people like the longer pole, some people don't. Some people, find if you can't get your hands behind them, that's an issue. And sometimes certain ones are designed that they're not as practical. So it's important to get a feel for the different ones, and they're on display everywhere you buy them. So I would say if you're purchasing handles, don't maybe do it online. Go to a store where you can feel them and get a good idea what they how they're going to work for you, and don't just go with the look of them. Go by actually how they feel and how they operate. And yeah, so this is a good point. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see if I can guess what it is. It has to do with a vent hood over an island. I don't know. Picking poor quality paint. All right, listen, I would never would have guessed that from this picture because it looks like it's good quality. But let's talk about this. Using bold color combinations in the kitchen can create a real impact. However, before you pick up the paintbrush, it's important to make sure that the product you've chosen or choose is resilient to daily wear and tear that culinary spaces endure. Look for specialist paints that are resistant to grease and will withstand regular washing and wiping, like Deluxe's Easy Care kitchen paints. Yeah, getting the right paint product is important. And I don't know about you, but if you have been purchasing paint lately, I don't know, maybe where you live, but where I live, paint is very expensive, and it is getting even more and more and more expensive. So getting a high quality paint can cost you $80 a gallon And that's really expensive, but it is good that you do have good quality paint. Something that you can wipe down that's going to be resilient. Of course, I like to think about things like the texture of that paint, whether it's pearl or eggshell or satin or gloss or semi-gloss or whatever. Those are other things to consider. And when you're putting them on your wall, what type of finish and sheen do you want? But make sure it's good quality. I definitely agree with this one. All right, let's keep going. I liken this kitchen again. It's hard to say. Um, I know you're painting all of you who will soon suffer kitchen again, which means you're going through a kitchen renovation. Kitchen again. That's a good one. I like it. I might steal that for later use. Anyway. Trina, I hope not. Yes, I said this kitchen remodel may finish my 25-year marriage. I hear that a lot. Love James from the Paint People. Yes, I do too. That's a really good channel to check out. I've witnessed a lot of fights right in my showroom, and it's amazing what people will fight about with someone else standing in front of them. It's a little bit challenging because you're right there. You can't pick a side because as soon as you do, they'll both probably jump on you. But yeah, it can be frustrating going through a renovation project. I hear this a lot. I hear a lot from people when they're building a house. So stay cool. You're gonna get through it. It's gonna be good. You're gonna get your doors. Your drawer fronts are gonna come in. You're gonna get through all this. It's only a kitchen. So really cool. All right, let's go to the next one. Sorry, do you want to end your marriage, build a house? Oh my goodness. No. Though for a lot of people, it's because it's so stressful. And what happens is the kitchen is normally the last thing that comes in. And so I get people on they're on the verge and they got the twitch going and there's just one more disagreement about something. And it's forget about it. Yeah. I agree. Paint People Dude is awesome. I agree with that comment. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, I can't tell what this one's going to be about. Maybe it could be curtains. It could be light. It could be that IKEA chair that you can't get because it's not in stock. Squeezing in a dining spot is a mistake. Okay, if you're designing a kitchen to fit a tight space, don't try to force in a full-size dining spot. Right? Don't put a dining table in the middle of your galley kitchen, obviously. It'll only block your thoroughfares and become a nuisance at meal times. Instead, opt for a snug eating space with stools. Make sure it doesn't look pokey. We don't want a pokey looking kitchen. That can slot underneath the table when not in use. Go for a drop leaf table design like this that can be folded down into a narrow sideboard. All right. So there you go. Don't try to stick in a big table in your kitchen if it doesn't fit. Pick something that you can tuck away. I know there's lots of solutions out there where it literally slides into the island and slides out of the island for use. Can be very helpful for people who have a smaller space but need a small little dining area where it's, in this case, it's for 2 people, maybe, well, okay, that'll fit 4 people. Those leaves will fold down, tuck away underneath that window quite nicely, not really be in the way, but it adds a little bit of function. And you could probably actually use this for, prep space as well. Though it's a little bit lower, it's still a little bit more space that you can use for whatever you decide to. So don't jam in something if it's not going to fit, basically. Don't make your kitchen look pokey. That's what we're going to go with. Pokey might be my new favorite word. I just never heard that in a kitchen before, having a pokey kitchen. All right, let's go to the next one. All righty now. Okay, this next one has to do with little small appliances, I betcha, or shrubs, or just cluttering up your surface, as well as planning the finish of your worktops themselves. Be sure to plan what you'll place on them. If you like to clutter up the surface with chopping boards and cooking utensils, consider adding hanging rails or open shelving above your counters to keep your preparation areas tidy as possible. You got this beautiful new kitchen, you got this beautiful new countertop, and then you jam it all with a bunch of stuff. Might not be the thing for you. For us, we like to keep our countertops pretty much clear as much as possible, but we're all different, and some people like the look of that and plan that in their space. So don't clutter up your surface. I agree. Don't clutter up unless you like it cluttered, and then go for it. Clutter away, go pokey, or go home. Oh my goodness. All right, what are we saying? Susan, hi. Mark, that would be a good episode. You and the paint people. I'd love to hear him talk about kitchens and paint with you. I'd love to get that opportunity, to be honest with you. So yeah, maybe I could make that happen somehow. I'm still trying to do these things, and that would be a good one. Pokey equals IKEA back order. Oh, Alan, I don't know what to tell you. All right, yeah, I'd love to get on. I'd love to get James from the paint people to have a chat. That would be really cool. So maybe we can make that work. All right, here's the next one. Has to do with, I have no idea. That's a beautiful looking kitchen, by the way. All right. Lighting. Window treatments. I was close. All right. Although a kitchen will benefit immensely from natural daylight, don't forget to take into account the sun's strength throughout the year and incorporate appropriate window dressings. For instance, easily adjustable roller blinds are a great way to keep the glare at bay while you're cooking. Alternatively, Venetian window treatments can block direct sunlight while still allowing light to stream into the room. I agree. You want to have something on your windows. We got ours from IKEA. Go figure. And they're just basic pull down shades. What do they call them? I forget what they're called. Channel. They have there's a name for them. I can't think of it. It's not coming to me. But yeah, they're basically. Oh yeah, they were blinds. Good call, Rose. That's what this one was about. Anyway, yeah, they pull down. They're easy, and there you go. These are pretty. I like these ones, but we just went for the kind of the standard ones, and there you go. Let's go to the next one. Okay, we're getting some comments on this picture, and we got what? What are we saying here? Do we like this kitchen or not? Too much white. Need sunglasses. Oh, come on. What? If nothing drives me, that's a cluttered countertop. Yes, okay. I'm thinking of nothing on the kitchen window since it faces into the woods. That's another thing. If maybe you don't need blinds. That kitchen paint is beyond white. That is paint. Oh, in beyond white. Is that the color name? I'm guessing that's the color name. All right, let's go to the next one. If you're watching at this point, you're probably wondering if you're just coming on live. We're going through 50 kitchen design mistakes for the first time from this article at loveproperty.com. Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section if you're catching the replay. And of course, this whole video will have a whole bunch of chapters for these particular items that we're going through. All right, let's go to the next one. And let me just hide that comment there. All right. The next one is, ooh, that's a very sleek looking kitchen. It's got a stool in it. I don't know. What can this be about? Squandering wall space. Oh, let's have a look at the picture. Okay, so you got this cabinet here. Otherwise, and over the door, down the side. All right. While it's tempting to focus all your energy on planning countertops and appliances, don't forget that the wall space in your kitchen is your secret weapon. Wow. In a narrow galley kitchen, well-utilized walls can become an extension of your worktops as well as increasing storage capacity. This ingenious IKEA scheme, which you cannot get because it's on back order, uses wall-mounted rails to hang cutlery pans and colanders. If your space has high ceilings, build up and elevate units to display prized glassware that's rarely used. Okay, so this is what they're talking about here. These hanging things, not just the cabinets, these hangy little things that clutter up your wall. Not a fan of those, but hey, if you are, awesome. And they're available at IKEA, which is, we all know is easy to get your hands on in this day that we live in. And if you have prized glassware, put it somewhere that you can display it. Why not? You might as well put it in your kitchen. All right, here's the next one. Oh, I like that red. What is this about? What is this about? I don't know what this one's about. Departing from the triangle. It is a design mistake to depart from the triangle. Is this kitchen departed from the triangle? Is this kitchen departed from the triangle? I see a oven. I see a sink. I see a cooktop. I don't see a fridge, unless it's a slim fridge that fits in one of these units. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about this one. We're almost out of time. I don't know how many of these I got through, but we'll keep going. Poor workflow planning can leave you with an impractical kitchen that turns cooking into chaos. It leads to kitchenageddon. Your cooker, sink, and fridge should be located within easy reach of one another. This is called the kitchen triangle. Ideally, no more than 3 feet apart, depending on who you ask. A triangle arrangement between these three key items often works best. Yes, the triangle is still something. My last video talks about the kind of micro relationships that are in your kitchen that you need to consider above and beyond the kitchen triangle. And in some kitchens, you have multiple triangles. Years ago, the NKBA tried to talk about the kitchen rectangles, but they didn't promote it enough, and it never took off. So that the triangle kept on, being the thing. And I see some comments about the triangle. Is it that important anymore? Yes, I mean it is important anymore, because it has to do about function and flow in the kitchen, and so that's why it's important. It gets maybe over talked about. The last video I did, I mentioned it, but I didn't want to talk about just the triangle. I want to talk about those relationships between key elements in your kitchen that work together, and they might not just be the fridge, the stove, and the sink. And in fact, some people say that the fridge isn't even part of the kitchen triangle. It's worktop, a stove, and sink, and the fridge is this auxiliary unit. So there's lots of different ways to think about it. But the key point of the whole kitchen triangle thing is that your kitchen is functional and it works and it flows, and that things aren't too far away from each other, or the things that you use the most often aren't blocked by an island, which might be the case in this particular kitchen that we're looking at here. So maybe the fridge is on this side of the island, and that thing's blocking it, or it's a peninsula. In that case, not a good idea. So, yes and no, it's important. It's important in terms of your kitchen being functional, but it's not the be all end all. There's other things to consider. All right. Oh, hey. All right. Let's talk about this picture. I'm loving the big mantle over the stove hiding the fan. I like that too. I love looking at this stuff. I purchased an interior design manual this week. Yes, I did, because I need to up my game a little bit on the interior design aspect of kitchens. And being on this channel, I get a lot of crossover from interior design content from other, content creators that are out there. And I'm so specifically kitchen design oriented, which is my niche, that I strive to stay in the lane that I'm in, but having some interior design, background, or a little more knowledge could be helpful. And so to improve my content, I'm trying to improve myself by learning about interior design. And so I bought a book this week, and we'll talk about that maybe in another live stream. Talk about some of the things I'm learning about interior design as it relates to kitchens, because I think it's important. All right, let's talk about Bruno. All right. You don't talk about Bruno. What is this all about? Lighting. Yeah, I got one right. All right. Look at this one, then I'll check the comments. So I see lots of comments coming in. It's great. Again, if you're watching this and you're just coming on, we're going through 50 kitchen design mistakes. We're looking at them for the first time, along with me. I haven't seen any of these, and except for that first one, and seeing if we agree or disagree. This is fun to talk about. We don't talk about Bruno. No. It's just funny how that's a really catchy song, by the way. We've been singing it in the house all week. Well-planned, versatile, and stylish lighting is more important in the kitchen than in any other room in the house. You'll need spotlight task lighting to prepare meals, softer mood lighting for those moody dining areas, and LED accent lighting to show off your beautiful new units of crockery collection, which I do not have. This design balances ambience and practicality with clever downlighting fitted beneath the cabinetry. Yeah, there you go. Tokic lighting, under counter lighting, lighting in those cabinets. Whose wall cabinets, by the way? I didn't realize my camera disappeared. Whose wall cabinets look like this? This is obviously staged for this picture. Nonetheless, it looks very nice. But this person has 3 ovens. Really, really cool kitchen. This looks beautiful. And wow, that's an interesting. That looks like some kind of hood or something. All right, let's get back to task. All right, lighting, very important. What's the next one? Well, let's go to the comments for a minute. We don't talk about Bruno. No, we don't. All right. Yeah, that's totally staged. Oh, not that. What is this? This is an open shelf. I bet that's what that's about. Yeah, totally staged. Most pictures are. I mean, I clean my kitchen profusely before I do a video if my kitchen's in the background. My kitchen's staged because, I want it to look nice. But at the same sense, like this is really staged. But it looks beautiful. And that's why they do it, because it draws your eye and looks great. All right. Okay. And if I miss any of your comments, which I'm missing tons of you this week, yeah, let me, sorry. We'll talk about that. If I'm missing your comments, because there's so many of these to go through, but I really appreciate you putting them in there. And I go through these afterwards anyway to look through, and I get a lot of great ideas, and a lot of people bring up really great points. And I really appreciate you chatting with each other and talking about stuff as well. So keep the comments coming. We love it, and try to get to some as we go. But some dumb username saying actually it looks like a rendering, that lighting one. Yeah, it kind of does, eh? The steam, though, I don't know. The steam, I don't think is a rendering. I think it's a real picture, but it does have that that effect. Probably just the photo effect, but it kind of looks like a photorealistic image. I'd agree. Man, it really does now that you look at it. All right, this next one is about pegboards. No? Open shelving? I bet you it is. Oh, not at all. Underestimating how much storage you'll need. You can never have too much space-saving storage in a kitchen, and it's easy to miscalculate how much you'll need. Make an inventory of everything you'll want to store in your kitchen, in your new kitchen, from crockery to chopping boards to that bread maker you're definitely going to use one day. Yeah, right. And make sure you allocate a place for everything before you start planning your space. If you're designing for a snug space, a wall-mounted pegboard is a clever way to go. Okay, I got the pegboard part right. To increase your storage capacity. Tell me, would you use a pegboard in your kitchen like this? We had pegboards come up on another live stream. I have one in other rooms in my house, and I think they're very valuable. And I probably would put one in my kitchen because I just think they look cool. And not this particular one, but I do like the ones from IKEA. Where's this one from? Worth London. So I like the ones from IKEA. Just because I think they look cool. But you're not going to really store anything. Yeah, Claudia's saying there's there's not such thing as too much storage. Yeah, but on this here, I mean, you're hanging things that really would go in a drawer otherwise. But they look interesting. And so yeah, have a pegboard, have an open shelf if you really like that kind of thing. All right. Oh, unless it's a corner. Right. We're on track. Okay, we'll do a couple more and then we're going to say goodnight. All right, what's this next one about? Has to do with drawer organization. Guaranteed. Come on. Not paying attention to detail in the drawers. Choosing the cabinets, kitchen tiles, and hardware for your new kitchen scheme can be lots of fun, but don't forget about what's going inside the units. Drawer dividers, pull-out larders, and carousel cupboards are just a few of the smart storage solutions that will keep your kitchen organized, making the most of every square inch of space. Get the use out of every square inch of space that you can, except the corner. But it is important to make sure that your cabinets are organized. And so thinking through not only the outside look and not only what the cabinet itself is going to be, but what's going to be inside that cabinet, how it's going to be laid out, where things are going to go. And sometimes you don't know what this is going to be beforehand, because you get using your kitchen and then you start to realize that. And a lot of these things you can get aftermarket that aren't that expensive, and you could put them in after the fact. So think about that. All right, so we don't like the pegboard. I get it. I like my kitchen with naked counters and zero pokiness. Yes, I do too. And the pegboard issue is with the pegboard is that tools get dusty and dirty and not used very often, just like open shelves. Yeah, I agree. That's like hanging pot racks and other things like that. Carousel corner cabinets. Marcus, I'm going to get triggered. I can cope. I'm good. I'm in a good mental place tonight. So, all right, let's go to the next one. We'll do two more. All right, we'll do two more. I'll talk to you in the comments for a minute before we go, and then we'll go from there. This next one is about whatever kind of lighting things these are and cactus. All right, guaranteed this one's about cactuses. Cacti. Being a slave to trends. See, I told you it was about cacti. It's good to be abreast of the latest trends, but most people only renovate their kitchen once every 10 years. So you need to come up with a design that will stand the test of time. If you want to incorporate the latest finish or dramatic color, it's safest to add them through the accessories, like these odd looking half moon light things, upside down bowls, and small home appliances, which can be swapped out easily and cheaply if your taste changes. I agree. Make sure your kitchen will last for, the length of time it needs to last. But, if you're in the mood for these weird looking dome things, go buy them, put them in your kitchen, get some cactuses out there. I mean, that's functional. It doesn't matter. Like whatever you like, it's all good. But yeah. And whatever this thing is back here, what is that? Looks like a potted thing. I don't know. But this is a really good point, is that you can style your kitchen in any different way you want, but make sure your kitchens are not a slave to trend. Don't be a slave to trends. You set the trend. You be the trendsetter for your own house, and you make a statement that way. Very Star Trek. I agree. Look at that fun light upside down bowl. Yeah, right. Like, what is that? I'm getting one. Where are they from? Alexander Zerger. Shutterstock. Okay, that's just the picture. That's not where they're from. All right, let's go to the next one. Well, okay, here, hold on. Another comment. They're going to be tired of having no drawer pulls before 10 years. Yeah, they could be, unless they're on servo drives that pop out electrically. Maybe they wouldn't, but yeah, that's definitely a trendy look, right? So this picture is saying don't be a slave to that. Anyway. Okay, what's this next one? Put a ladder in your kitchen. This is a very farmhousey look. All right, what is it? Wasting storage space, like a corner cabinet. Maxing out kitchen storage is essential. Every kitchen is unique, so take a step back and think about how and where you can sneak some extra storage into your space. Okay, and make the most of a tall kitchen with a ladder and fitted floor-to-ceiling units in small spaces. Toe kick storage, yes, hidden in the kickboards underneath the units, can be a canny place to keep extra plates and utensils. You got to have some canny spaces in your kitchen so that it doesn't look pokey, and you have to make sure that you have access to all of these upper cabinets. But yeah, use as much space as you want. You know what? If you're going to put in a corner cabinet, go for it. If you're going to put in cabinets at 10 feet to the ceiling, go for it. Just make sure you can get at them. And, there you go. Hello. Hey, Jeff, thanks for coming on. I seen your email about it earlier, by the way. A ladder. I just didn't get around to it. I've been designing kitchens all day long today. And I got buggy-eyed doing that, where I just couldn't look at a screen for any longer. So now I'm here looking at a screen with you. A ladder is a terrible idea. All right, let's go to one more. And what is it? Hire a contractor? I bet that's what this is about. Or does it have something to do with budget? Because he's looking at charts. Okay, here it is. Poor communication with builders. All right. The mistakes that builders make are often down to lack of communication. Let me know in the chat or in the comments. Do you have this problem? Do you notice that if you have a builder that you have lack of communication? It's very possible. You could have a lack of communication with your designer or the person you're purchasing your cabinets from. The best way to ensure that everything goes smoothly is to agree on detailed schedule of work before construction starts and speak to your builder on a regular basis. Every day if possible, to keep abreast of the project. Yeah, every day. And catch any problems before they arise. Detailed drawings are a big help, so you might not want to hire an architect or kitchen designer to draw these up. Yes, you should hire a kitchen designer to draw up your drawings. I do agree with that one, not just because I have that kitchen design solution that you can get in the description below, but it's important to have detailed elevations and floor plans if you're going to install a kitchen, especially if you're going to do it yourself. But if you're going to do it with a professional, they're going to have someone do this for you. Poor communication with builders. Okay, I don't want to end on that one. I want to end on a more kitchen designy one. And I see some comments coming in saying, yeah, they communicate, they ignore what I tell them. Yes, we had problems with communication. I don't know if you should call them every day. I think that would make the thing. I think that would make it worse. And I don't think it would be a great idea to call your builder every day and be like, hey, like, what's going on today? You know, every other day, maybe, or because they're going to stop. They're just going to like, oh, they're calling again. And they're not going to, I don't think it'd go well. Mark, is a kitchen designer needed if the cabinet maker also does it? Nope, not needed. If they do it, they do it. It's part of what they do. And so I would assume that they would have a program that they're doing the design. So I wouldn't say it's necessary if you have a cabinet maker that's building your cabinets and designing it. I don't think you need to go outside of that and spend more money to have that done than if you're using your cabinet designer. Unless you don't like what they do, you didn't like the layout and you want something else maybe, but I would say probably not. Here's a good one. Our builder is pretty good, but sometimes he makes decisions that baffle us. So we do keep in communication, and he's pretty easygoing. At first glance, I thought he was greasy. And stays friendly through all our requests. Yeah, I mean, having a good person you can communicate with is good. Someone who can roll with the punches and deal with changes on the fly. That's always important. So, Mark, I have a contractor and would like an IKEA kitchen. Do I know if IKEA would work directly with the contractor? I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know that one. If your contractor went in, they would probably work with them. But that's a good thing to ask the designer, like not the people on the floor, but their actual kitchen designer. Yeah, they're going to provide with elevations. They'll provide with floor plan. I'm sure that I'm seeing some comments here saying no. So they only do cabinets. I know that they do have designers in there that have the same qualifications that I would have, that you can schedule appointments with, and maybe the contractor can talk to them. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm saying no, they don't. So because they don't comment. I'm wondering because they don't comment on poles lighting. I'm such so confused if it's still needed. Yeah, that's a good question. You have to ask the IKEA designer themselves on that one, if they'll work with them. All right, let's go one more, and then we'll get out of here. This is I hear people upstairs tramping. Hope it's not too noisy. And I've seen someone say that this is a really where is that? This is a really cool vent hood. Very trendy. Better be careful about that. Even this island. I'm sorry that I'm going back and forth. Look at this island. All right. So this goes against their trend, not having too trendy kitchen. All right, here's the last one. Picking the wrong design for your lifestyle. Oh, is that what that one is? I think we covered that one already. So let's do this one, which is whatever this water system is. Not bothering about a boiler. Okay, we'll end on this one. Unless you have a dedicated utility room, chances are your boiler will have to go in the kitchen, bulky and usually unattractive. It's important to find elegant solution as possible to hide it in any way. Making sure it's still accessible for maintenance. Fitting it into a cupboard is best option. Ideally located on an exterior wall so it has ventilation. Here's the thing: in our neck of the woods, at least in North America, we have hot water tanks. Normally they're in a utility room, in the basement or in some other mechanical room, and you don't have to worry about this particular solution being an issue. But if you do, yeah, you want to make sure that it looks nice. So, all right, that's the last one. See, I'm getting what's a boiler? It's for your hot water, but again, we have hot water tanks, especially in North America. So this might not be something that, at least in North America, that you have to deal with. But if you're in the UK or other parts of the world that use boilers, make sure that they look attractive and they're not just stuck there looking, unattractive. You don't want them to look pokey, and that's the main thing. All right. I just see drawers, and I just got to do one more because I think this is a good one. Here it is. Overspending on the bits you don't see. Well, okay, you just said we have to make sure that we take care of the bits we don't see. But anyway, before beginning the kitchen renovation, ask yourself whether it's absolutely necessary to rip everything out from the start and start from scratch. If you have good quality units, for example, you can reuse the interior carcasses and simply replace the doors and handles. This will give you a completely new look for a fraction of the cost, as well as being less wasteful from an environmental point of view. You can also customize IKEA units and still get a great designer look. Yes, you can if you can get your hands on them, but don't go overboard or go overboard. Depends on what you want. At the end of the day, it's important that the cabinets are functional, not just from the outside, but from the inside is actually where I think it is more important than from the outside. So if overspending on these items is, going to break the bank, well, okay, maybe not a good idea, but I think you should at least consider it. So not sure that I totally agree with this one. However, yeah, don't overspend on stuff that you don't need, obviously, but make sure your kitchen's functional. So I don't know how many we got through, ladies and gentlemen, but that's all I can do for tonight because I'm going to lose my voice, and I super appreciate it. Let's talk in the comments for 1 minute before we go. And I just want to say appreciate everyone being on tonight. And so a lot of comments. I didn't get to very many tonight, but I appreciate everyone coming on. And maybe next week I'll resume right where we left off. I won't change it. So thanks everyone. Night from New Jersey. Thank you so much for being on, everybody. If you're watching this in the replay and you've been through this video, I have a kitchen design solution that you can check in the description below. And basically it's, if you need a kitchen designed, I can help you with that. And if you don't, then thank you for watching any of my content, any of my videos. And this coming Saturday, my new video is going to be about redesigning a disaster kitchen from a client in Wyoming. And it is Tara from Living on a Dime and To Grow Rich. Her channel, I was on her channel before, and she's helped me with a few things YouTube wise. She's a cookbook author and YouTuber, and I redesigned her kitchen, and it's a fun little video. So it should be great. And there's a lot of little tips and tricks in there that you can check out, of course. And I get to show you before and after of a design that we did. So not a live picture, but the renderings, and it should be good. So everyone, have a great week. Thank you so much for being on. Again, if you're watching this replay, thanks. You've been through the chapters. Awesome. Make sure you subscribe if you like my content. Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified of these live streams, which we do every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. Atlantic Daylight Time or Standard Time where I live, but I go with Eastern Time because it's easier. And you get notified of those, and you can join in on the fun. And I'm going to try to have some more guests on in the near future that we can talk about kitchens. Hopefully I can get this chef on that I'm talking about, who we met just recently through YouTube. And again, thank you, everyone. Have a great night, and we will see you hopefully next week. Bye-bye.